Hi book lovers, welcome to 7 Minutes Book Insides, the best book summary channel to get inside and key ideas of book in just 7 minutes. Our goal is to make a perfect summary for you so you can take decision to buy that book. We also focus on empowering you with knowledge that drives growth and fuels meaningful action toward success and innovation through summary of this book. So, grab your coffee and spend just 7 minutes with us. We promise it'll be time well spent, bringing a little positivity your way. Today, we're diving into The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong, a tender, poetic novel about life on the margins and the power of unexpected connection. Let's look into the scene 1, The Edge of Hope. Our story begins in the quiet town of East Gladness, Connecticut, where Hai, a 19-year-old Vietnamese American, stands on the edge of a bridge, poised between despair and the unknown. A college dropout, he's lost in a downward spiral of addiction, haunted by the ghosts of grief and abandonment that shadow his every step. He has reached the end of himself, convinced there's nothing left to fight for. But just as he prepares to let go, a voice breaks through the silence, unexpected, unfamiliar. Grazina, an elderly Lithuanian widow battling dementia, calls out to him from the bridge. Her words, though fragmented and wandering, strike something deep within Hai, pulling him back from the edge. In a moment neither of them fully understand, their lives become entwined, two strangers bound by loneliness, memory, and the fragile hope that perhaps survival isn't about standing alone, but about being seen when it matters most. Let's look into the scene 2, An Unlikely Family. Hai moves into Grazina's home, stepping into a role he never imagined: caretaker, companion, lifeline. Their connection is not built on easy affection or simple understanding. Instead, it is forged in the raw edges of survival. She, an elderly Lithuanian widow battling memory loss, struggles to hold on to fragments of her past as loneliness gnaws at her present. He, a 19-year-old Vietnamese American, carries the weight of youth burdened by addiction, grief, and a profound sense of disconnection from the world. Their bond is not sentimental. It is stark, unpolished, and real. The days are not filled with warm moments of clarity but with frustration, repetition, and the slow, imperfect process of learning to trust. Yet, in the messiness of this shared existence, there is something life-saving. Grazina provides Hai with a purpose beyond his own suffering, while Hai, in turn, offers Grazina companionship that fights against the silence of isolation. In the small victories, preparing a meal, remembering a name, staying sober for one more day, they discover that survival is not about perfection, but about finding meaning in the presence of another. It's time to learn the third scene 3, Home Market, a place called belonging. Hai lands a job at Home Market, a fast food chain emblematic of post-industrial America. At first, it feels mundane, just another fluorescent-lit workplace with rushed orders and exhausted employees. But as he settles into his shifts, he discovers that his co-workers, immigrants, recovering addicts, single mothers, form a quiet, unspoken community. Between shared cigarettes in the alley, covering shifts for one another, and whispered conversations about lost dreams, they create bonds that make survival a little more bearable. Through these everyday interactions, Hai learns that solidarity isn't built on dramatic gestures or grand promises. It thrives in the small, unnoticed moments. It's in splitting tips to help a coworker buy groceries, in offering a ride home on a rainy night, in simply listening when someone needs to vent. In this space, survival isn't just about endurance, it's about connection, about finding dignity in the act of showing up for one another. Now it's scene 4, Trauma, Memory, and Storytelling. Vuong dives deep into memory, history, and pain. Grazina's recollections of Soviet Lithuania, Hai's grief over a friend's overdose, his immigrant mother's quiet sacrifices. The novel uses these stories to show how trauma runs through generations, but also how telling them can be healing. The prose is poetic, fractured, lyrical, a mosaic of experience. Scene 5 is about the quiet acts, big change. There's no dramatic plot twist, a suicide averted, a job kept, but the beauty lies in quiet persistence. Hai looks up at the stars from a dumpster, saying to his mom, "Life is still hard, messy, but there's beauty too." That's being an Emperor of Gladness, not a ruler, but a survivor finding light amid darkness. So, let's wrap up the story. Ocean Vuong's novel is a social epic told in intimate frames, about love, labor, loneliness, and radical empathy. It reminds us that our ordinary acts of care are heroic, and that sometimes, forging connections across age, class, and culture can offer our second chance at belonging. As you know that through this channel, we not only provide the summary but also insides of the book for personal growth. So, let's look at the main key takeaways from this novel, The Emperor of Gladness, for personal growth and meaningful actions in our practical life.
Lesson number 1: connection heals deeper wounds.
Unlikely relationships can save lives. Grazina and Hai remind us how compassion across divides can bring meaning.
Lesson number 2: everyday life is full of quiet grace.
Ordinary moments, like sharing a meal or a story, can carry profound healing power.
Lesson number 3: stories shape survival.
Survival isn't about grand triumphs. It's about narrating our pain, sharing our histories, and finding dignity in small truths. That's The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong, an intimate tale of survival, loss, and the unexpected kindness that keeps us going. If this spoke to you, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which literary gem I should unpack next on 7 Minutes Book Insights. Thanks for tuning in. Stay gentle, stay curious, and see you in the next one.